Hey there, everybody. Charles Hamaker here with you from Circling Seattle Sports. Just wanted to say before this Mariners game react gets started, the quality might not be the best. I'm probably a little bit shaky. Audio might be suspect. Instead of recording it at the ballpark like I have last 4 times, I think we've done these this year. The cleaning crew was obviously in the ballpark. I was there about 11:46 at night, and I didn't want to set up anywhere that would bother them. So I did it like walking out of the ballpark and onto the street, so it'll cut off a few times. Like I just didn't want to be doing this. Like you can see my arm, right? Like holding it and talking while drunk Mariner fans walk by. I know I talk into a camera pretty often, but obviously it's a little different at times. So yeah, I wanted to apologize. It might not be our best one. Hopefully, I imagine it will be back to normal tomorrow for the Sunday matinee. So hope you enjoy the footage I put together. I just got home from the ballpark. It's 12:31. So hope you enjoy this one and you're able to watch it before Sunday's game. We're gonna do this walking out of the park because I'm here too late. It is about 11:46, 10 seconds into 11:46. We're leaving T-Mobile Park. We're in the third base lobby right now. It's obviously empty because everyone has gone home. But we're gonna do another one of these sort of Mariners game reacts here. Try to as people are leaving the ballpark and such. Mariners win 1-0. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. I stopped it because there were a bunch of folks coming down. I didn't want to be talking to the camera while that was going on. I know I talk to a camera and write for a living, but not with the drunk folks tonight. Excuse me again. Mariners win 1-0. Secure that series win against the Pirates and can look to a potential series sweep over this weekend set against Pittsburgh tomorrow. 1-10 against Pittsburgh. That seems unlikely with Skeens on the mound, but we'll talk about that in a little bit here as we're now outside of the ballpark. This was like, it's nice to win a shutout, and it was like there are a lot of good things to come out of this game, but for me, it was frustrating in a lot of ways because, the Mariners had several opportunities throughout the course of this game to be able to, get a lead and give Luis Castillo some more run support than the lone run that he got. And of course they didn't, because that's been, one of their characteristics over the last, 5 years is being able to generate traffic and not being able to do anything about it. I know in 23 they had all the strikeouts, but they still had chances to generate traffic. I mean, that's why largely fans got upset with how many times they would get the bases loaded and do nothing with it. Bases loaded, so what, was something I saw so common on Twitter during that season and the last few seasons as well. Like, we go here, first inning, Cal Raleigh reaches on a walk. Second inning, Luke Raley reaches on a single. Third inning, J.P. Crawford doubles. Fourth inning, Dom Kenzone doubles. Fifth inning, walk by Julio, additional walk on Cal. Sixth inning, they get the actual run, of course. Seventh and eighth, no traffic at all. But you can see what I'm saying, right? The amount of traffic that they got throughout the course of the game to be able to give Luis Castillo some run support, some more run support than the just one run that he got. And they weren't able to push him across. So that's where the frustration comes from me, and I don't think anybody will disagree with that. I'm just like, That's what we've got. The Occidental's hot dog carts going on. That's where the frustration comes from, right? Luis Castillo looked great. I'd say easily his best outing of 2025. 7 shutout innings of baseball. Only the 2 hits allowed, both of them against Spencer Horwitz, Pittsburgh's first baseman. 8 strikeouts, no walks in this one. Luis has given up the free pass pretty decently throughout the course of his year. So to see none of them in this game was great against a Pittsburgh lineup that obviously the Pirates are sitting at the bottom of their division. Obviously they've struggled throughout the course of the year, but they're pesky. I mean, there's some decent hitters in this lineup. You know, Nick Gonzalez is hitting 308. Andrew McCutchen is no slouch, despite, getting up there at 38. So Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is annoying, has been throughout the course of his career, right? So, the point remains, they're not this pushover lineup. They're going to make you work. They're going to eat some innings. And they ate some against Logan Evans last night. Brian Wu at times. Probably why I didn't go even deeper than the nice 6 that he was able to give the Mariners. But no, he looked great. He, first 9 batters up and down. The leadoff walk in the 4th to Spencer Horwitz. Then, 3 up, 3 down. Top of the 6th, leadoff. 2-out single by Horwitz. And then McCutchen flies out. So, it looked great. His command looked great. His spin and his velo was up in this one. Slider looked good. Was able to get 6 swing and miss on the slider of the 10 swings he got on it. Just felt good. His postgame didn't reveal much. Luis is very much a guy who kind of consistent in his answers. He talks about so commonly, having a positive mindset when he pitches, executing the game plan that he comes into the game with. That's Luis. That's what he does. That's how he talks. He did talk a little bit, though, post-game about how much he was excited to throw up the signature fist celebration that he's got. So that was kind of fun. He talks about how he kind of plans when he wants to do it. He got that strikeout of O'Neal Cruz of McCutchen. It was of O'Neal Cruz. Of O'Neal Cruz to end his outing, a strikeout looking, and it was funny. Cal got up and started to run away to end the outing before home plate umpire Chris Cuccione had even called it. Not quite how I wanted to go. A group of fans outside of the new the new beer hall. The hall, I guess. It's not in Queen Anne. I was going to call it the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Sitting there looking at me. I was like, let's not do that. He talked a little bit post-game about how he does kind of plan it. Obviously waits for the big moments to bring out the fist celebration he does. So, it looked good. Then, to be able to have your starter throw 7 and then bring in, Matt Brash and Andres Munoz to finish the game out is the ideal situation, right? Like, that's what you've wanted to be able to do with your pitching staff. They haven't been able to do it as much as they'd liked to throughout the course of the year because they had to, of course, get Brash back a little bit later than opening day. And their starters at times have not been able to go deep outside of Brian Wu, of course. Just an ideal day pitching-wise. Nothing to complain about there. Defensively, a good game. Julio had a nice leaping catch on a deep fly ball. I believe it was about 400 feet from Andrew. Sorry about the camera, folks. I know this is not ideal. Would have liked to be able to stand and record it like I have the other, I think, 4 we've done so far before this. But we're improvising. The stuff's got to go out, right? Nice leaping catch into the wall in center field by Julio on the second out of the first inning. And just nice, clean, routine rest of the game here. Strikeout, I think, in every inning except for the 6th. Yep. For Castillo. Easily, again, his best game. And able to get your 2 best relievers in there to finish the game for you. So that looked good. Just so frustrating here. I'll stop to look at all the opportunities you had. And some of them weren't even your fault. There were 3 different situations where Randy came to the plate with a runner on, 2 situations with runners in scoring position, and the Mariners weren't ultimately able to push a run across. The first time you saw that, first inning, Cal had walked, so he was just on first, 2 outs, and a man on first. Goes down looking. Third inning was the most frustrating one. JP had doubled with a 1 out. Cal was intentionally walked in the third to put runners on first and second, and Randy was hosed on a called third strike that was well off the plate. Just total incorrect call. Not non. I was going to say like non-call, but incorrect call by Guccione. And obviously with the 1-run win, could have played a role in here. Could have kept the at-bat going. Could have given the Mariners, more life. Definitely played a role. Just glad it obviously didn't ultimately factor out into the result of the game. Just some frustration overall with that. Randy did strike out 4 times in this game. Unfortunate. He's had a good homestand, right? 5 homers and 5 games on the homestand. Has otherwise seen the ball well, besides this game. And that's even harsh to say because, again, he should have not been struck out in the third there. That was just total ump show. Kind of an ump show through this one. Chris Guccione kind of has the slow called third strike, rip motion. So frustrating in that regard. Not the most fun game because of the frustrations offensively, but hey, you take the first 2 of a series, who cares how they come? And it sets you up for tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1:10 start, obviously the Sunday matinee, the Sunday getaway game. Pittsburgh will have Paul Skeens on the mound. Obviously, if you know baseball, you know Paul Skeens and how good he's been to start his career. In his second to last outing, he did kind of have a stinker against Milwaukee and the Brewers. That was that game that was kind of pumped up by Major League Baseball as being this big showdown. But Skeens wasn't great. He only went the 4 innings, given up 4 runs, 2 walks in that one. Better outing. He didn't have a bad game against the Tigers in the third most recent outing, but he did, I think, have 6 walks. So it'll be interesting to see how the Mariners hit him. Obviously, given the inefficiency and the up and down nature of the Mariners offense over the years, it's easy to feel like they're going to get rocked by sometimes anybody, right? But obviously an ace like Skeens. But they've got this weird history in recent memory of hitting well against aces, hitting well against top guys. They hit Crochet earlier this year. They've hit a few of the other ones. They hit Scooble. So there's a few. I'm probably misquoting Scooble on that one, but they've definitely hit a few well over the years. So we'll see how they do against Skeens. And then you've got George on the mound, George Kirby. Kind of in his third most recent outing, not great. But back-to-back 6 inning, 1-run performances. So that'll be interesting to see how he does. He's largely been pretty good since the first few outings after being activated off the injured list to begin his 2025. He'll obviously want to keep improving, as George does. He's a maniac. But also have to wonder if he'll want to sort of match Skeens in this showdown of sorts. So we'll see. We're on I don't know what that noise is. We're a bit further now. We're near the Smith Tower. So hope the audio turns out all right on this. But yeah, I'm interested to see if Kirby kind of matches him, so to say, in the outing. Maybe gets a little more juice, maybe more velo, facing Skeens. So we'll see. But yeah, 1:10 start tomorrow, matinee. They then leave for their final road trip before the All-Star break. Go and play the Yankees in New York, and then play the Tigers in Detroit. Two of the best teams in the American League, which is wonderful. So yeah, it's also kids run the bases tomorrow. So if you want to get your kids up to do that, great opportunity to come see two great pitchers, and kids run the bases post-game. So I'm going to try and cross here. Hopefully don't get hit by a car. So yeah, man. Again, sorry about the moving around. I didn't envision this, but I didn't want to get in the way of the cleanup crew at the ballpark post-game. So yeah, until we see you tomorrow afternoon to get this next game uploaded, take care of yourselves, be well, and do whatever you can to make today a great day.